Greetings, my friends. Thank you for watching this video, and if you would be so kind, please subscribe if you like what you see. Help our channel to keep growing and keep fighting the war to save pop culture. Together, we can end this destructive conflict and bring order to the galaxy. Enjoy, and thanks. Greetings, my friends. I come to you today with some new reporting on my last video, in which I discussed some information provided to me by my Hollywood spies regarding Kathleen Kennedy and Jon Favreau. In that video, I revealed details provided to my Hollywood spies by multiple sources who claimed that Jon Favreau and Kathleen Kennedy at this point actively hate each other. As often happens when I publish a rumor like this, I have other sources contact me to confirm or contradict certain aspects of those rumors. Most of the time, I cannot reveal the source, but in this case, it comes from an established channel, namely thatparkplace.com, and so I'm pleased to be able to share this update from WDW Pro, who was kind enough to provide me additional information from his sources that mostly support what my sources told me about the situation at Lucasfilm.
To my eyes, or rather my empty eye sockets, thanks to you and your vicious decapitation of my sacrosanct person, an insult that you shall pay dearly for some fine day, mark my words. It appears that Lucasfilm is a living hell of seething anger, creeping wokeness, abject failure, and crippling delusion. After all, someone on staff must have actually believed that Kenobi was good. Can you imagine the level of madness to believe such a thing? Skull of Calderon. It's even worse than that. There must exist at Lucasfilm some fuckhead who saw Book of Boba Fett and then said, yeah, let's release that. It'll be swell.
According to my sources in the previous video, which I absolutely present as unverified rumors since I cannot independently verify the information I was provided, Book of Boba Fett was a hijacked and changed production. Favreau was unhappy with Kennedy for reasons that were not revealed to me, and so he left the production in Robert Rodriguez's hands and went off to focus on Ahsoka, basically washing his hands of Book of Boba Fett. When Disney saw just how bad things were working out on Book of Boba Fett, they begged Jon Favreau to come back and fix it, and Jon reportedly agreed, but only on condition that Kennedy would not be allowed on set, and that if he so much as heard her name on his set, he would walk. And now that James Gunn is defecting to DC, Gunn is reportedly wanting to put the band back together and is trying to persuade Favreau to follow him over to DC and leave Star Wars behind. Given that Favreau and Kennedy have so much antipathy towards each other at this point that they won't even appear together on the same Zoom calls, there is a great deal of concern in certain quarters that Favreau may well jump ship and move on to greener, Kennedy-free pastures.
I just hope Disney understands that, given how badly Kennedy and her band of woke wankers have degraded Star Wars, Favreau and Filoni are literally the only thing propping up the Star Wars universe at this point. Kennedy and her woke termites have fucked up the structure so bad, it'll crumble without those two and their repair efforts. Though frankly, it's probably too badly trashed to fix at this point. As Billy Crystal famously said in The Princess Bride, well, there's dead, and then there's dead. And if Favreau bails on Disney, Star Wars will be the latter dead, the worst dead, the kind of dead that even I, with all my necromantic skills, could not reanimate. But enough of this. Let's hear what this latest source has to say about your previous report. Confirmation or denial,
Very well then. Now that we've established the basics of what I said previously, and I will place a link to that previous video in the video description below so you can check it out for yourself, let's see what thatparkplace.com sources say about my reporting. WDW Pro contacted me yesterday and shared the following information with me. Quote, like your other sources, I'm told it's become apparent that Jon Favreau and Kathleen Kennedy no longer get along. There are some who are worried that Favreau may leave after the third season of The Mandalorian, Lucasfilm, not Disney as a whole. Unfortunately, I'm also told by my sources that Disney management is not taking this seriously enough. One source believes Disney might even want Jon Favreau to step away from Lucasfilm in order to create an impetus for Kennedy's transition out. Reportedly, there are some talks taking place about moving Kathleen Kennedy out of Lucasfilm in late 2023 once Indy 5 has made it to streaming. However, it may not be quick enough. There is real tension. It's even evident in the photographs for the Vanity Fair article a few months ago.
Yeah, you noticed that yourself, Doomcock. Remember that insane article that appeared in Vanity Fair that was basically giving old KK a BJ from framing her as the be-all and end-all of Star Wars? They had that group picture of everyone and, well, look at the damn thing. Kennedy can't even look at the camera and smile in Favreau's general direction. It's hilarious, dude. She's pointedly looking away from him. Yep, look at their expressions. That is not a happy-looking set, dude.
No, it certainly is not. Looking at Favreau's expression, it looks like a doctor just told him during your colonoscopy, we found a massive anal tumor. And Favreau is replying, I know. I'm standing right next to it.
Oh, I think it's pretty damn clear that things are not copacetic at Lucasfilm, with Kennedy sucking around like some kind of Shaloub the Spider, sucking the life out of Star Wars, and generally cocooning and devouring anyone on staff who gives a damn about that galaxy far, far away. But I have more information to share. WDW Pro continues, quote, on top of all that, the very few people above KK at Disney don't seem thrilled with her mismanagement of the studio financially, getting the Taika Waititi stuff wrong, and then his bumbling of basic Star Wars information has everyone worried. With Thor: Love and Thunder moving towards flop territory, Kennedy may not be the only high-level studio exec heading out the door, but she's one of the most prickly situations Chapek will have to deal with. Don't be shocked if she, quote, retires, unquote, or moves into a, quote, legacy position, unquote, in late 2023. Chapek and the board are ready to start dumping the holdovers from the Iger era, and Chapek likes Favreau.
Well, hell, what's not to like about Jon Favreau? From the rumors you've heard, he's a great pleasure to work with and he runs a very happy set. Although he is always concerned that the Eye of Sauron is on him. The Kennedy spies will report back to her everything he's doing with an eye towards ruining it.
Yes, Harvey. God knows KK doesn't want any more slip-ups that actually make fans happy, like Luke Skywalker returning. Imagine the horror of that. That certainly rained on her parade when that happened. Here's the deal. If Favreau bails on Star Wars and leaves it to the tender mercies of Darth Kennedy, the whole thing will collapse like a house of shit-coated cards. And don't forget that Kennedy is going to have yet another go at completely destroying Star Wars with The Acolyte, an uber-woke, gynocentric take on Star Wars, certain to make long-term fans question the existence of a just and sane God. That's another legacy production, helmed by ex-Harvey Weinstein prodigy Leslie Headland, that is beyond Favreau's control. So as bad as Kenobi was, you can reasonably assume that Acolyte will be at least 10 times worse. And Star Wars is hanging on by a thread, folks. No matter how good Mandalorian Season 3 is, no matter what happens with Andor or Ahsoka, you get another stinker as bad as Kenobi, you'll be able to count the number of Star Wars fans remaining on Captain Hook's hands. And he's only got one. Disney had better be concerned, folks, because if Favreau gets sick of breathing the same air that KK breathes, if he gets tired of his good work being rendered moot by another shitty and demoralizing Star Wars series like The Asshole Light, he may just decide who needs this aggravation and walk. And if that happens, Disney can remake the original Star Wars and call it Star Wars Episode 4: A No Hope, because that's all that'll be left to Disney and to Star Wars fans.
Even to Disney, man. $4 billion is a lot of wampum. And it just seems like Kennedy is doing her best to flush all that money down the toilet faster than a hippie in college gets rid of the wacky tobacco when he hears a late night knock at the door. Not even Disney can brush off that kind of loss, dude. And given how the MCU is tanking under the yoke of woke, the mouse may soon find itself shit out of cheddar. From the center of the earth, this is Harvey Cthulhu bidding you all, my friends, push the button.
Hey, you can't end this video like that. Why, I oughta... Ha 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 ha.